I'm joined by Jenny Coluccio, the head women's golf coach at Toledo. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm very excited to chat with you. Yeah, to see that your team, is in their fall season. You have one more tournament upcoming. So can you tell me, how the fall season has been for you and your team?
The fall season for us has been a little up and a little down. We've
Mhm.
we've had some successes and we've had some areas where we really um, some things have been missing. So for us, it's kind of been a bit of a roller coaster, but we're looking to end this fall season on a good note.
Nice. Yeah, you said you have some ups and downs. Well, one of your highs of the fall season, your team won your home tournament, the Rocket Classic, and junior Kylie Dole got the individual win. So can you just talk about that team victory and the individual victory as well for Kylie?
Yeah, I think for our team, the biggest success was that final round. We really came out with the right mentality across the board with everybody. And they made a purpose out of it. They really wanted to show what they were capable of doing, and they did it. With Kylie, like she was really comfortable on the golf course, and we ride that wave whenever you're really comfortable and really feel like you're in the zone. But she's a really hard worker, and to see something like that pay off, especially in your junior year, as she's been working pretty hard in general. So it was special. Really fought through and survived the best in the first two rounds, and then came out in that final round and sealed the deal. So yeah, it was a good weekend for us all over. It's always good to win your home tournament. Especially for us, Catawba Island is a special place with special people that support us there.
So you have one more fall tournament. I believe it's next week, Mercer's tournament. So, can you just tell me, what do you see for your team in that tournament? And, you know, maybe what do you expect for your team, for their final tournament, and then, for the spring, what do you see for your team?
Right. For the team, we're really looking forward to the weather.
Yeah.
We've kind of caught all the drizzly cold weekends up here as we've been staying close to home this fall, which the weather's beautiful. It's beautiful today. I think it's 72. But anyway, so we're looking forward to that. But really, another chance for us to go out and work on that mentality, um, our readiness to play and compete right away. And so for us to be able to come out, show up, and play against some teams that we don't normally see. So trying to get some variety in our schedule and a new golf course. We have one of our players is near or from Atlanta area as well. So um, anytime we get the chance to try to go play near someone's family in an event that works really well for us. So it's kind of opens up the culture piece to the rest of the team about where that player is from. So really looking forward to that mentality though, that readiness out the gate that we've been working on this fall.
Yeah. So I see in the spring, you'll go to Arizona in February, then in March you'll have two tournaments in Florida. So I know with Ohio, the weather can be hit or miss, and the winter can be, difficult at times to get outside and play. So, what do you think it'll be like for your teams, going from the winter, in Ohio to, you know, going to Arizona in February, playing two tournaments in Florida in March.
Yeah, so there's two ways that I've always thought about it. Yeah, I've always coached somewhere in the Midwest or in the upper Midwest. And the way that I think about it is you can either lament what you don't have, or we can really be resourceful with what we do have. So for us, we do a lot of specific practice, even though it's indoors, very purposeful practice and readiness to compete. So as long as we are being resourceful with the resources that we do have, then we should be ready to go in the spring. Mhm.
So your conference championship in April will be at Pinnacle Golf Club in Ohio, and your school's in Ohio. So just talk to me, what do you think it'll be like to have the championships this year in Ohio?
Conference for us,
Mhm.
being in Ohio, is always, I don't say a homecoming, but we're always very welcomed, the MAC in Ohio. And so, really, that's the part that makes it special when we have a course and following, we have family that can come and watch. So all of those things for us is a bonus, especially for us with 5 seniors on our roster to be able to have some of those families come in and watch that final event, or hopefully not final events, but the final conference championship for those seniors. And so I mean, Pinnacle is a great place. We're looking forward to it, and I think they're going to be a great host.
It's not a question. It's just looking at your schedule. I see a lot of the teams that you played at. I've gotten the chance to talk to, like Dayton's coach I've gotten to talk to, and Bowling Green I've gotten to talk to. Yeah. But a real
Yeah,
question
a
that I
lot of
have
good
is,
coaches in the region.
yeah, real question I have is, you host two home tournaments, the Glass City Invitational at Inverness Club, and the Rocket Classic. So, most schools they only host, one tournament a year, but you host two, both in the fall season. So, talk to me how difficult it is, hosting, back-to-back home tournaments.
It's a lot, and I couldn't
Mhm.
do it without the support around me. Our assistant
Yeah.
coach Stephanie does a ton of work, a
Mhm.
lot of the legwork, the little details. But for us, it's special. So Inverness is our home golf course,
Yeah.
and we actually alternate years on when we host. So
Okay.
we host this fall, and our men's team will host next fall.
Okay.
Our Rocket Classic tournament is special and near and dear to our program. We have a lot
Mhm.
of unique supporters that are out there, and that's been going on since before my time at Toledo. So it's something that we've continued and wanted to continue as well for the legacy of the program. So
Mhm.
it's a very difficult though. You have to have your ducks in a row and the right people helping you to make sure that you get everything done and all your T's crossed and I's dotted. But I'm really grateful for all the support that we have, especially at Inverness, and our continued true supporters at Catawba Island. Mhm.
You've been the head women's golf coach at Toledo since 2018. So yeah, what has it meant? What has it meant to you to be the head women's golf coach at Toledo, and how's your time at Toledo been since 2018?
It's been a journey, that's for sure. I'm really appreciative of Kelly Andrews at the time, our sport administrator, hiring me and seeing that I'm capable of moving the program forward. It's a unique program. Like we have a lot of things that are going for us. We have great facilities. We have with Inverness, but we also have some of our things that we have to be creative with. So, as a journey in the last 4 years, I don't know what coach hasn't had kind of a roller coaster with COVID and trying to navigate things that we never suspected would ever happen. On top of it, our team has gone through a lot of other life events. So, for me in coaching, like the grand reward is to see these players better themselves as people by the time they leave and ready for the next world. And we're competitive, right? We like to win. So really trying to move them forward as competitors, but also be ready for what they're going to be competing in life afterwards as well. But Toledo's been great. We have new great leadership as well in our athletic department. Brian Blair is doing a lot of things outside the box, and it's really motivating and sparked a lot of interest within our department in our city. So Toledo's a special place. There's a lot of great people there, and looking forward to more years in the future. Mhm.
Can you tell me about your time being the head coach at University of Sioux Falls, and can you tell me a little bit about that university?
University of Sioux Falls is a
Mhm.
small private school in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay.
They are probably about 1,200 students is their total enrollment. And yes, I was the head coach for both the men and the women there for 3.5 years. A special time in my life. We had a lot of fun. We were in a transition from NAIA to Division II, and I mean, some of the players I'm still in contact with a lot of them as they are now raising their own kids and professionals in the world and moving on and everything else. But it was a time where we really had to be resourceful, competitiveness. We had a great camaraderie between the men's and women's teams. We did a lot of unique things there. Sioux Falls is a great place. There's great people up there. I think everybody balks at the idea of living in South Dakota.
Mhm.
Winter's a little too long, but if you can muscle through that, then it's a great place to be. Mhm.
Yeah. I asked this next question because I'm going to be interviewing her in November. So can you tell me a little bit about Tavia Rutherford, who's now the head coach at Lindenwood? I believe you coached at Sioux Falls. And did you ever think that she might become a college golf head coach one day?
Tavia Rutherford. She was
Mhm.
my very first recruit
Okay.
uh, to sign for the University of Sioux Falls. And
Mhm.
how I got her to come there from California, I don't know, but it
Oh
was a
wow.
long con. I think it took me 9 months in the full cycle of trying to convince her to come to Sioux Falls. But Atavia is a great person. She's got such a drive and personality and such a want for everybody else to find their passion and be their best. She's a competitor at heart and she wants to continue to better herself every day. So through that, like just seeing her and interact with the team and as a player, uh, I knew something like that would have to be in her future. I'm not going to take any credit and say that I did see it, but it's conversations that she and I have had over the years, and just too, and trying to help her own coaching career continue to move forward. So she's a great coach. She's got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of ideas, and I think she'll do some great things.
Nice. That's awesome. Getting a player from California to go to school in South Dakota is definitely an accomplishment.
Mhm.
So you also were an assistant coach for the University of Illinois. Can you tell me what you learned from being an assistant coach?
Oh gosh, there's a lot. Um, I think in a lot of ways it humbled me, and knowing that, I mean, so I didn't play Division 1 and I hadn't coached at Division 1 level before then. And recruiting was a big chunk of it that was different. I mean, Renee taught me a whole lot about coaching and the organization of a program, and just in general, like she is a true competitor herself. So having that just energy that goes throughout the rest of the team, um, and being around a program, especially our counterpart Mike Small. I mean, he's a going to be a Hall of Fame coach one day. So just being around that and being around the donors and the support level and the level of detail in which things are done. So there was a lot of those things that I had to pick up really quickly and got to learn along the way. But it was a really good 5 years for me, and Renee and I got to do some special things with the teams. So it was, yeah, she's a great coach. Mike Small was great to just observe and be around and learn how he does things as well. Um, it's such a unique place. Like their facility is phenomenal. Their supporters are phenomenal. So many of those things that you learn from being in just an environment that way. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm interested to know, what was the transition like for you going from being an assistant coach to being a head coach?
So I think it would have been a little bit different had I not been a head coach before, but I
Okay.
think it's
Yeah.
just different. So being a head coach, but having two programs as opposed to one program, Division two as opposed to Division one. So there, I mean, there was definitely a transition in those things, and I had to put my hat back on for what the visions that I wanted for the program. Whereas before being in Illinois, it's a lot of support for Renee's vision of the program and where she wants to go. So kind of putting those things back on and finding that path again. And it's always interesting. You're never quite sure what you walk into until you're in the environment too. So there's some things that we had to change and move around a little bit and change how we did things at Toledo in my first couple of years that we did. Mhm.
Coach, can you tell me, how did you get started playing golf? What drew you to playing golf? And, do you have any memories of playing, junior golf or high school golf growing up?
Oh gosh, yes. So,
Mhm.
my father was a great player growing up, and
Mhm.
I'm from Southern Missouri. So it was in that his side of the family. Me and my brothers were kind of country club kids a bit growing up. So I did junior golf, but I had no want to play the sport at all until I was a sophomore in high school. I
Okay.
maybe played 3 times a year. So I got injured playing another sport, and my mom actually suggested, "Well, why don't you play golf?" And I said, "Okay, sure, let's give it a shot." So I went out in high school in my sophomore year and never really looked back. And caught the bug, got addicted to it, competitiveness. my dad's mentored me through my own game, also through my coaching. And then I was fortunate enough to go and play at a really good program in college at Division II. So a lot of it's just stepped kind of one into the next of opportunities. Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit about Drury University, and how your experience was, attending and playing college golf there?
Drury was a very special for me. It was 3 years because I transferred back into my sophomore year. But Lisa Tinkler was our head coach at the time, and we all respected her so much. She was a great player in her own right, from the area as well. So a lot of us knew her because we were kind of a mishmash team from around Missouri. But you put us together, and it was a pretty special time. So we had some really great talent on our team. We were able to do some special stuff. Finishing fourth at nationals in our fourth year of the program. So we kind of launched up really quickly, but more so, yeah. I mean, it was a great time in my life of growth and learning who I was and really trying to understand what I wanted to do next because I didn't know in college. I didn't know what was my next future. And Lisa, my coach, really mentored me into trying coaching myself. So I credit a lot of that push to her to see that in me and try to develop those qualities.
I have two more questions for you. So you played college golf. Did you always think you wanted to be a college coach, or was being a college coach uh, not really something you ever thought of?
It was not certainly on my mind until probably either close to graduation or even after.
Mhm.
I went to Q school after I graduated.
Okay.
It was something that my dad always regretted not doing, and I kind of thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. So, kind of found out quickly that that wasn't really the life that I wanted to lead, but I knew that I wanted to be in golf. And so, Lisa, my coach, had called me to see if I wanted to come back and be her assistant, her volunteer assistant, just to see, what it truly is all about on the coaching side of things. So it was a late decision. No, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I have a degree that's more business related, so was trying to work somewhere in the sports world because I love that world. Mhm.
My final question is, what do you enjoy most about being a head coach, and what do you enjoy most about being at Toledo?
What do I most enjoy about being a head coach?
Mhm.
I'm gonna take the head off of that and just say coach. Like, really, it's seeing the growth of these players, them have that moment of realization that what they're capable of, seeing what their potential is, and learning to strive for it each day, just as a human, also as a competitor. So that's something that's really important to me in the programs that I'm a part of are that they recognize their dream and they can move each day with purpose towards it. So, and the relationships, I mean, the relationships are second to none. So you get to know these players really closely in their lives, and I'm still in their lives after they've graduated. Um, but more so, they teach me a lot about who I am, and I learn from them every day. How to be a better coach, how to be a better mom, and just working through different things like that. Um, and what do I love about being about Toledo? Oh gosh, the people at Toledo are fantastic. We have some great people that are really good at what they do, but also have just this huge heart for Toledo and want to see it go and do big things. So it's a unique place, and we've got a beautiful campus. But outside of that, we've got some great people.